Dr. DeLallo, and today we're going to give you our Murph 2017 prep, our way we would get ready for this great workout. Right, so first thing we're going to do is increase the proprioception and awareness in our feet to get them ready for the 2 miles that we have to run and for all the air squats we're going to have to do. So first thing we're going to do is take our hands and actually put our fingers in between each of the individual toes here. So what this is going to do is help us to increase the range of motion and proprioception in our actual toes and the foot. So once we have our fingers in between our toes, you're going to feel a good little stretch. We're going to start to twist and move and bend those toes around in different directions. So this usually feels pretty good. It gives you a good stretch, some good mobilization. We can go up, we can pull down, we can twist to the right, twist to the left. Once we do that for about 30 seconds to a minute each foot, we're going to move up towards the calf. So for the calf, we're going to use the bone saw technique. So what I'm going to do, if you have a bench available, that's great. If not, you can do this on the floor. I'm going to hang the ankle off a little bit, take my shin, place it on my calf. I'm going to kind of scour up and down. I'm going to find that tender spot. I'm going to use my own body weight to sit back onto my calf, and then I'm going to do some range of motion with my ankle. Big giant circles, slow and controlled, reaching as far as we can with each one. If I need more pressure, I just simply sit back more onto my shin bone, again scouring up and down through here. Now that our feet are now awake, we've increased their proprioception, and they're more mobile, the big thing we have to do now is get warm. All right, so our favorite way is always to use a sled, a bunch of different variations, whether it's backwards drag, a forwards drag. Another good option is also just jumping rope. It's a low level exercise, but increases a lot of blood flow and will increase a little bit of some ground reactive forces in the actual feet to get you again ready for the run or the 2 miles that we have to run and the air squats, right? So after we address the feet and now we're warm, now we're gonna address the shoulders. So for the shoulders, for the pull-ups specifically and the push-ups, we're gonna start to get those scapula moving and get them ready to handle the forces of either kipping and or strict pull-ups. So to do that, we're gonna use our scapular pull-ups or retractions. So I'm gonna hang from the pull-up bar, let my shoulders drift towards my ears. I'm gonna drive my shoulder blades down and back my back, hold for a second, and then control that eccentric on the way back up. So we're not just pulling down and dropping back up. The big thing is to squeeze and then control that eccentric. If we're good at the scapular pull-ups, what we can then move into is our scapula circles or circumduction. So big circles forward, again, trying to control each range of motion. Arms are straight, or big circles backwards, about 10 to 15 each way, controlling all that range of motion. This is nice and gets the shoulder ready for those pull-ups as it kind of mimics that kipping motion already if you're gonna kip. So next thing for the shoulders, we're gonna do our banded iron cross, again to tax the shoulder a little bit, get it ready for all the forces it's about to handle in this workout. So taking the band from the top of the rack, we're gonna reach out to the side. The goal with this exercise is to keep the shoulders from not shooting up towards the ear. So we're gonna reach down through the floor, and then we're gonna drive our arms out to the side, maintaining that tension to about 90 degrees or a little bit above, and then we're gonna drive back down, again doing this for about 15 to 20 reps. This will warm up those scapular retractors, scapular depressors, and the rhomboids, lower trap, middle trap area, and get you ready to handle forces for the push-ups and the pull-ups. The third thing we're gonna do is get ready for the pull-ups, or the push-ups, excuse me. So for the push-ups, what we're gonna do is an isometric hold in the plank position. So down here in the plank position, nice wide base. I'm gonna reach my hands through the floor, press my fingers in, screw them in, and from here, what we're gonna do is hold for about 20, 30 seconds, and then we're gonna do some shoulder touches. So I'm gonna touch my left shoulder, and then touch the right shoulder, alternating back and forth. Big things we're looking for this is midline stability and rotary stability. So as I leave, one hand leaves the ground, I shouldn't see any twisting or shifting or bending like that. So we're trying to maintain that stiffness and touch each shoulder as we move through this drill, getting us ready for those push-ups. For the squats, what we're gonna do is we're gonna scour the hip joint and find those tight ranges of motion and work on getting them to release. So we're gonna use our tall kneeling to half kneeling transition. So toes tucked underneath, nice and tall here. I'm gonna hinge through my hips, sitting back, squeeze the glutes, come up, and then drive the knee forward, nice soft touch, not extending through the lumbar spine. I'm saying nice and neutral, kind of finding those ranges of motion where I'm tight through my hips. Big thing with this drill, when we bring that leg forward, we wanna hear 1, a soft touch, and 2, we don't wanna see any shifting from the hip. So you're gonna shift a little bit, so you wanna swing the leg around the side, but we wanna avoid is doing one of these motions here. So what we're gonna do, rock back, hinge back, squeeze the glutes, come up, nice soft touch coming forward, Once we master that, we can start to move into different angles to scour the hip. So what we can do is we can rock back, we can go across, we can come forward, we can come to a 45, and then we can go to a 90. Going about 6 to 8 reps on each side, finding those tight junctions in the hips and getting them to mobilize and open up. So that's our Murph 2017 prep. Give it a shot and good luck.